Have you ever actually tried getting a toddler to sleep in a hotel room or, maybe at their grandparents' house? If you have, you already know it is a very specific, unique kind of exhaustion. You're out of your normal environment, the trusty crib is miles away, and your energetic little one suddenly decides to treat bedtime like some sort of high-stakes hostage negotiation. You absolutely need a sleep solution that is safe, comfortable, and actually feasible to travel with. So welcome to today's Explainer. We're going to dive straight into the data, the manufacturer's specs, and the real-world customer reviews to see exactly how the Liftoza Sandwich Toddler Travel Bed attempts to solve this ultimate travel sleep crisis.
Okay, let's dive into our menu for today. 1. The Toddler Travel Dilemma. 2. Meet the Sandwich Bed. 3. Built for safety. 4. Portability and care. 5. The Customer Verdict. And rounding it out with number 6, the final takeaway. Starting right off with sections 1 and 2, the dilemma and the sandwich bed.
Look, for years, the default travel option for toddlers who are outgrowing a travel crib has been the inflatable mattress. But let's be real, inflatables come with major headaches. They require a pump, they squeak like crazy when kids roll around, and there is always that midnight risk of deflation. Liftoza takes a completely different approach with a foldable foam bed. They're promising firm spine support, absolutely zero setup, and integrated safety rails built right into the design. Now, the absolutely crucial point is right here, 2.4. That's the thickness, in inches, of the high-density foam used in the mattress base. And why does this matter? Well, because toddlers aren't just scaled-down adults, right? Their growing bodies actually require firmer support for proper spinal development. By totally ditching the air for 2.4 inches of firm, non-toxic foam, kind of think of it as the dense meat of our sandwich here, this bed aims to replicate the support of their everyday mattress back home, which means better sleep for them and consequently a whole lot better sleep for you.
Moving right along to section 3, built for safety. You might notice the bed touts a GRS certification. The global recycled standard doesn't just mean the materials are recycled, it actually means the product has been independently verified at every single stage of the supply chain to meet strict environmental, chemical, and even social requirements. This tells us the manufacturer is actively mitigating chemical exposure. And honestly, that's an enormous relief when your child has their face pressed against this fabric for 8 to 12 hours a night. Beyond just the materials, let's look at the functional safety specs. It's CPC certified, so it's hitting all the US safety standards. But visually, the thing that really stands out are those built-in raised edges. If you look at the shape of the bed, those crusts of the sandwich essentially act as soft integrated bumpers to prevent an active sleeper from rolling right onto the hotel floor. Plus, the bottom has this anti-slip fabric coating, keeping it totally secure on hardwood or slippery hotel carpet.
All right, on to section 4, portability and care. And this brilliantly illustrates the no assembly needed claim. You don't need a manual, and you certainly do not need an air pump. Step 1, unroll the bed. Step 2, let the foam expand. And here's the really crucial detail. While it takes 24 to 48 hours for the foam to reach its absolute maximum firmness after you unbox it, step 3 is immediate use. You can literally lay it out and use it for nap time right away, knowing it's only going to get firmer by tomorrow. If you've got a toddler, you know messes aren't just a possibility, they are pretty much an absolute guarantee. The Liftoza bed tackles this head on. The entire cover is machine washable, but look closely at the details here. They use hidden zippers to prevent accidental skin scratches and a combination of Sherpa fleece and breathable cotton flannel. This material choice is super smart because it prevents heat buildup in the summer but still keeps them nice and cozy in the winter. Let's ground ourselves in reality for a second with these dimensions, 25 by 50 by 7 inches. To put that into perspective, this is the exact footprint of the medium-sized bed, which is rated for toddlers aged 1 to 4. 50 inches is just over 4 feet long, and at 25 inches wide, it's compact enough to slide right between hotel beds, or lay out in a small guest room without eating up your whole floor space. Which brings us to section 5, the customer verdict. Now, what's really interesting about this snapshot is the consensus among buyers is just overwhelming. Out of 184 global ratings, a massive 81% of buyers gave this bed a perfect 5-star review. That brings the overall average to a highly respectable 4.6 stars. Customers are frequently using words like adorable, sturdy, and comfortable. But let's look at what they're actually saying in their own words. This 5-star quote perfectly captures the main demographic for this product. The transition out of a pack-and-play is incredibly tricky. Kids get too tall, but they aren't quite ready for a giant adult bed yet.
This reviewer validates that the Liftosa bed hits that exact sweet spot, providing a well-made, comfortable stepping stone that's actually going to last them for several years. But hey, even among the 5-star reviews, there's a very practical reality check we definitely need to highlight. Because it relies on thick, high-density foam rather than being hollow like an air mattress, it has some physical bulk to it. This parent offers a fantastic real-world tip. If you're tight on car space, you might really want to use a vacuum storage bag to shrink the whole shebang down for the journey. Now, to keep our explainer fully objective, we also need to look at the critiques. This 3-star reviewer points out 2 things. First, they felt the medium size ran a bit small for their 2-year-old, so they recommended the large. Second, they noted that when it's folded up, the bed doesn't hold its shape rigidly enough to reliably carry other items like toys or bedding without them falling out. That's a really important structural limitation to keep in mind. And finally, Section 6, the final takeaway. So, based on all the data we've looked at, here's the profile of the ideal user. This bed truly shines for parents whose kids have just outgrown the pack and play. It is perfect for families making road trips to hotels or grandma's house, assuming you have a bit of trunk space to spare. It's for the caregiver who completely rejects the idea of pumping up an air mattress at midnight, and for anyone who absolutely prioritizes certified non-toxic materials. And that brings us to the ultimate question you have to answer for your own family. Does the undeniably high comfort of firm foam, the safety of those raised edges, and the sheer joy of zero assembly outweigh the physical space this bed is going to claim in your car trunk? It's the classic trade-off between packing light and sleeping soundly. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I hope this breakdown helps you navigate your next big family adventure.